5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Liftoff, and the clock has started.
Kevin Bailey, 46, Butternut.
Brandon Brown, 44, guardrail. 37,
Flemings. Henry Richard, 57, high heels.
High heels, respect.
Coming down 69, switch hitter.
Switch hitter, respect.
Let's go to 43, Brick.
Rick.
6, Rooney.
Rooney, respect.
David Smelser, 42, Christopher.
Christopher.
Will Smelser, 10, Cheetah Boy.
Cheetah Boy.
Brown, 16, median.
Median.
Jason Short, 43, Honeydew.
Honeydew.
Ryan Andreessen, 40, Windex.
Windex.
David 33, Five Blocks.
Blindside.
1 Munoz, 31, Lamper.
Lamper.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Hey, OnStar, welcome. What's up, brother?
What is up, Steam?
Another podcast recording session, and it's going to be awesome. Good to have you, man.
Good to be here. Good to be here. Good to start the week like this.
That's right. I mean, it feels just like last week we were recording because just last week we were recording.
Would you look at that? Funny how that works.
Funny how that works. That's right. Well, hey, man, thanks for being here. Happy to connect on this Monday night and talk about some cool stuff that is going on around F3 Knoxville. Man, we got some guys doing some cool things, and we're excited to dive into that tonight.
Oh, yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff that went on this week. A lot of news from metric workouts, IPC, and a bunch of stuff to share with you guys.
That's right. Speaking of a bunch of stuff, we're going to get into an event that's coming up this weekend, actually, that we are both a part of on Star, and I know we'll talk a little bit about that later, and it's going to be awesome, bro. But why don't you lead off if you want to? Let's go into some TCLAPs, man. We got some guys doing a ton of stuff.
All right.
Around our region, and we got to give some guys some TCLAPs. So
do.
we're giving TCLAPs too.
Always happy to start with that. Always great to recognize the great man around here. So first of all, we got to give some TCLAPs because we have a new AOQ in a new AO. We have
right.
Piston taking over the Birdhouse, which is in Roane County Park near Midtown. Another PM workout out there in Roco. And cool thing to know, the name Birdhouse is a way to remember our brother Cardinal. So the guys from that region still keeping his memory alive, keeping it going. And I think it's beautiful that they decided to start as AO and remember him with the name. So that is awesome. TCLAPs to Piston and to all the guys in Roane County. They are on fire, man.
Yes. They are getting ready to launch a new region later this year, and I'm sure we'll have some of those guys on to talk about that and share some of that info. But man, they are already just crushing it up there and building a great community of F3 men.
Exactly. And hey, why they don't officially Starfish, we claim that for Knoxville and say that we have a new AO for Knoxville for now. But they're going to go on to do their own awesome things pretty soon. And that's the whole idea, man. It's great that we get to empower other regions to come off and go and do their own thing and keep on planting and keep on growing.
That's right. Man, there is a good group of guys who volunteered to go to a marine mud run, which if you've never been to one of those, it's an awesome event run by the few, the proud, the Marines. And it is, just read the title, the Marine Mud Run. It's a mud run that involves Marines. So why would you not want to go? Right. But these guys, Honeydew, Abacus, Simmons, OnStar, Soot, and others stepped up and helped man a F3 tent at a Marine Mud Run. Some of them actually ran it, I believe, as well.
Yes.
And OnStar, tell me about it, man. Did y'all run in the race, and what did it look like for you?
I did not, but I know Lizzie did with Simmons and a few other people who were there as well. Some of the ladies from FIA joined as well as a team. And actually, I think he was too humble to TCLAP himself, but our man Kickflip ran with both of his sons.
Oh, nice.
They got an awesome result. I think they did it in like 27 minutes. They were like,
Wow.
I think third or something in their heat, so they did awesome. And Kickflip still hung around to help us distribute waters. We got to do a medal duty. We were giving medals to the people crossing the finish line, so it was a lot of fun. It was great to be there. And who knows, maybe we're going to get some FNGs coming from there, but it was awesome to be able to be there and help the Marines, help veterans. It's always great to be to have the opportunity to do that, and it's great that we have Soot to create those connections now as our veteran outreach queue.
Yeah,
but
he has been killing it.
He has, and it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
Well, good. Yeah, I mean, I was sorry I couldn't make it, but it looked fun. I mean, it's just a fun event.
It was. It really was.
Very, very fun.
Hey, there's next year.
Yeah, that's right. We're less than a year away from the next time, so we'll have to get a bigger group to go do that next year. This guy's been out to the Asylum PM before, but his home AO is at the Shamrock. And if you've seen the Fast and the Furious movies, you know who this guy is by name. You can't miss him. His name is Toretto, and this dude is just a beast. And he did his VQ at Shamrock this past Friday. Had a ton of guys there, 26, I think. So it was a good group of men.
Nice.
There in VQ his first workout, and I saw him at a ruck on Saturday. I was like, "Hey man, how'd it go?" He goes, "Man, I was getting nervous." And, when 26 guys showed up, I was like, "Oh man." But he crushed it, and TCLAPs to you, bro, for doing your first Q at F3. Many more to come. To come, I hope.
And we also have another man who got his first VQ. Oh, you only get one VQ, but y'all know what I mean. He got at the Equalizer, Madoff, also on Friday. So good week for guys getting on and queuing for the first time. If you haven't yet, man, it's awesome. It is a little scary. You feel a little intimidated, but at the end of the day, everyone is just there to have fun and finish exhausted. So as long as you can keep the guys running and doing some insane stuff, you're going to be fine. Just my advice is overplan. It's easier to cut back than to try to improvise last minute because you didn't plan enough stuff. That's right.
I mean, there's a queue last week where I had planned way more than we got to, and I was like, "Oh, we'll get through all this." But it is better to have more ready to go rather than finish your workout and realize you still have 10 minutes to fill in the workout and do Ring of Fire and make it up as you go for 10 minutes, which you can do because I've done it. But would highly recommend having a plan and over planning, just like you said. So there's stuff to do in the workout.
That is correct. And TCLAPs to everyone who crushed week 2 of the IPC. It was rough, but it's done. Week 3 looks even rougher, but there we go. And you can find the results on both the F3 Knoxville main channel and on the Iron Packs channel. Kickflip and I will be posting them. We'll be collecting them just for the region. If you have not been posting your results to the Greenwood, F3 Greenwood website, no problem. If you just want to send them just to participate in the region, just post them either in the Iron Packs channel or send them to me, and we'll get you into the standings. We already have them for week 1, and we had a photo finish there because we had in first place for our region Catgut with 491 reps.
Dang.
But in second place, we had Fixer Upper with 490. So It was literally a photo finish neck and neck there. But lots of guys participated, And like I said, if you haven't posted your results and you don't want to post them on the F3 Greenwood, no problem. You can just send them to me or to Kickflip or post them on Iron Pack's channel, and we will have them for you guys. So let's go.
right.
Let's keep it. We'll soon have the results for week 2. And I hope you all are ready for week 3.
If you thought week 2 was fun, just wait till week 3. We're going to say that every week. I mean, if you thought week 4 was fun, week 5, man, it's going to be awesome. It's fun to watch guys crush it and really engage and do it. And I've heard some good feedback from this year so far. I think it's been better than years past, and guys seem to be really engaging and rocking it. So it's good.
I've been doing it on Fridays on Asylum AM, and I gotta say the guys there are killing it. Cat Gut dude's a beast. Dude's an absolute machine. He just goes for it. So,
what is he, like 80, 84?
I think he's a
60s?
Double respect. Yeah.
60. Yeah, 60s. That's
60s and showing everyone up. So there you go.
Yeah. Man, he is crushing it. So be like Cat Gut.
Crushing it.
What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be like Cat Gut.
Exactly. Hey, we have lots of double respect, man. Respect and double respect, man. I want to be like Lily Dipper and High Heels and those guys because, man, they're crushing it.
That's right. Good to have guys to look up to. Exactly. That's a podcast in itself. We'll probably record a podcast about that someday.
That is a nice idea. Let's bring together some of our favorite inspirations from F3. I like that.
The respect, double respect, and triple respect. Shout out to G6 episode. Exactly. We need to make that happen. We absolutely.
I agree.
Well, we have some key dates. We got some stuff coming up around the region. We already talked about Iron Packs, and if you have not read your newsletter yet, you should. Kickflip sent it out yesterday, and it is packed with all these fun events, really, really cool events, too, that some of our guys are putting on. Leadership changes, such as the Shovel Flag plant. We have a new AO, actually quite a few new AOs, which you talked about earlier on Star up at F3 Roco in Roane County. But there's actually a plant happening tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Tuesday. They call it Slumber Yard at Riverfront Park in Harriman. And Wingman is going to be the AOQ. He's been super involved with the Rampart and has volunteered to step up and lead this new AO Slumber Yard at Riverfront Park in Harriman. It's launching tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. I'm sure that a lot of our guys will see it on Slack or on the F3 Roco Facebook page, as they've been posting a lot of their growth and events over the past few weeks and months. So shout out to you, Wingman, and those guys, and all the growth that y'all are going to experience over the next year and for years to come out in Harriman. So that's awesome.
I'm excited to see what these guys would do, because in just like a few weeks since they announced they would be doing this, they have been going off. So they're going to crush it. I just know it. Absolutely
they are. Well, and now to something that we haven't really talked about a lot over the past month. Definitely not on this show or in person in F3. Just a small weekend thing that we've been putting together for a year and a half called Forge. And OnStar and I are both a part of this. And I've been working on this for the better part of a year or so. And we're here. Bro, we're here in like 4 days, man. We're going to be up at Forge, which is a weekend retreat created by F3 men for F3 men. It's a 40-hour weekend retreat, so Friday through Sunday. It's coming up this weekend. The whole goal is to challenge and encourage F3 men in their pursuit of high-impact manhood. We typically call that the HIM, the H-I-M, high-impact man. And so we've built out this weekend and invited F3 men into a space that's not their typical weekend space. Maybe they're used to soccer games for the kids, or doing family things, or watching games on the weekends. None of that is bad. That's actually really good. But we've asked guys to invest a weekend to be with other men as we talk about what it looks like to be a high impact man in our own lives, in our own spheres of influence. And so we're going to create opportunities to have guys engage over the weekend, to seek adventure, rest, and just sharpen iron with other F3 men. The cool thing that's happened this week, so the week of actually, is there have been some guys that have signed up recently, which is great. And we have 3 F3 regions represented now that are going to be at Forge. So we have F3 Knoxville. So that's the main region, I would say, the guys that are kind of spearheading this for Forge. We have F3 Smokies out in the Maryville, Alcoa, Seymour area. And then we actually have F3 Morristown. So we'll see 3 F3 regions represented, which is really cool, just to get a different group of guys together for this weekend. So you probably have heard us talk a lot about Forge, and rightfully so, because we're both pumped on Star. And I know we're both going to be speaking and to some regard and leading in different aspects throughout the weekend. But tell me where your head's at the week of. We're about to take this group of almost 20 guys up to a beautiful place in the mountains for a weekend and do something guys don't do a whole lot. Talk about what it means to be a high impact man with other men.
Yep. And man, it's kind of a feeling of I can't believe this is here already, because we started talking about this and planning this. I wasn't even a dad yet. I was a dad to be. So
that's right. Yeah,
that's how much things have, how long it's been, and how much
that's
things
crazy.
have changed. And man, you deserve the credit for pushing forward with this, because like you were the one with the vision. I know that this came from a conversation between you and Brick, and a lot of us embraced it. But dude, you deserve a lot of credit for this, because you made this happen, and it's just going to be awesome. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a much needed time, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be epic.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you. It's been a collective effort of guys over the past year and a half or so, I would say, and you'll probably hear from some of these guys that maybe you haven't heard from in a while, or maybe you have on the podcast later this year, even getting into next year too. Man, my heart for this is for men to be invited into a space that is imperfect, and not just physically, but relationally, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and just engage with the larger story at play. So, you'll hear, if you are going to Forge this weekend, you'll hear a lot of stories and be invited into a larger story that we're all invited to as men. But really the heart behind it is we do these workouts throughout the week, right? And for me, it's easy to take this for granted. It's like, I'm going to show up on a Tuesday, Thursday, workout for 45 minutes, maybe go drink a beer with some guys afterward and talk about life and have some good conversations. And I've taken that for granted over the years. Sometimes, it's easy to do just to get muscle memory. But I think our collective heart for this is to kind of get outside the normal bounds of F3 in terms of what we're used to with workouts or second F events or cafeteria, and really engage together in an impactful weekend. And we realize it's an investment, not just financially, but also time. Time is a non-renewable resource. So these guys that are coming this weekend, we're excited for them to walk through this content that we put together for them and just for ourselves too. I'm excited to be up there personally and just be with these guys and learn more about their stories, learn a little bit more about my own story as well. So you'll hear a lot more about the Forge story this weekend if you're going, and if you're not going this weekend, that's okay. You'll hear a lot more towards the back end of the year about some of the things that have gone on to make this happen, hopefully how it is going to invigorate men in their pursuit of fitness, fellowship, and faith. So, man, we're pumped. We're pumped. We're definitely giving the credit to God for this, and just asking Him to bless this whole weekend. So it's going to be great.
Amen to that. And God willing, we will have another edition next year with even
That's
more
right.
guys joining. So let's see how this one goes, and just pray for the best and pray that God guides us as usual in our pursuit of high impact manhood.
That's right. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, we are going to have a shovel flag at Forge, because why would we not? That's just our calling card for F3. But speaking of shovel flag handoffs, OnStar, we got some shovel flags that are getting handed off.
Yep.
Later this month. We have 2, I believe. So who are those guys, and who are we ushering into the leadership team?
Yes, sir. We have 2 happening right at the end of the month. On September 29th, we're going to have one at Shamrock with Betty handing the flag to Slappy. And just the next day, the 30th, Saturday, we'll have Skeletor handing the flag to Feeney. Both of these guys, well, all 4 of these guys are amazing, and they've been great leaders. And I'm sure that the guys who are taking up the flag will continue to follow on and keep these AOs moving forward. Rampart has been full of energy and is now helping create and plant many AOs around the region. Shamrock has been having days filled with guys, like you said, Toretto having his VQ with 26 guys there. So I'm sure that both of these guys, Lappy and Feeney, are going to do an awesome job.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you a story about these guys real quick, because both of these guys are, just like we were talking about earlier, high impact men that I look up to personally, and I know a lot of our region does too. And these guys, so starting with Slappy. So Slappy, you may know him from being one of the main guys who helped lead and put on Escape from Haw Ridge over the years. This guy chooses his words very carefully. He's a very well-spoken leader of men, and recently led a 9/11 queue on 9/11, and shared some great things from the heart. But man, he is all about bringing guys together, and is really gifted in that way. So, and I'm really happy that Slappy's stepping up into this role. And we couldn't talk about Slappy without Betty as well. Man, Betty is a great encourager. He has led the Shamrock for a while, and is actually going to be doing some really cool things in another area of Knoxville later this year with F3. So he has stewarded his role as the AOQ very well too. So both of those guys, man, thank you for what you're doing out in West Knoxville or the Cedar Bluff area. And then, man, Skeletor, this guy, like, I think I would run through a brick wall for. If he said, "Hey, man, we're going to run through this brick wall," I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it, man." One of the most tenacious leaders I've met, I think, in F3, and a dear friend and someone that has had his leadership tested and built through a very tough time. When we lost our brother Cardinal earlier this year, and Bobbitt, was a big factor with that too, and Skeletor is one of those guys that is just in your corner. He's in your corner. He's for you. Probably never met a stranger, and just leads very well. So man, TCLAPs to you for stewarding the Rampart well. And then Feeney and I have gotten to work on our F3 Knoxville Facebook over the past couple months. He's very talented in that regard, and is always willing to jump in and get men plugged in. He's a great connector of people. So I'm really happy for you, bro, that you're stepping into this role. It's fun to look at different guys not stepping away from leadership, but handing the leadership flag to other men so they can be freed up to do do other things and lead in different ways. And when you zoom out to a 90,000 foot view, I mean, this has been going on for almost 7 years in Knoxville with F3, and it doesn't stop. So it's just cool to see guys that you've worked out with before, like, oh man, I worked out with that guy, and then you see he's going to be leading a workout or leading an AO, and it's like, man, of course, that makes total sense. He's going to do great at that, and that's awesome to see. So man, that makes my heart really happy.
Yep, and man. I know that Betty, I've been talking to him. He has some very, very exciting plans of what he wants to do here in the region. And let's just say that you've not seen the last of him in a leadership position in F3 Knoxville.
That's right.
Let's leave it at that for now.
More to come.
More to come. Exactly.
Well, speaking of new AOs, I know we kind of talked about this earlier, but F3 Roco is doing some awesome stuff. They have a slew of new AOs that are launching as they step further into becoming a region as F3 Roane County or Roco. So Wingman, Piston, Lucille, those guys are going to be leading different workouts, both AM and PM workouts in F3 Roane County. And we're excited just to see that growth once again as they step further into being a region. So TCLAPs to all you guys out there for doing that.
Yep, they've got Slumberyard and Birdhouse coming, and they have something very cool. They're going to have a Nomad AO, which is going to roam through the region every Saturday in a different location, led by none other than Lucille, who just this year joined them, has been the guy who had the best improved score from the first metric workout and has just been killing it. So these guys they are inspiring. So TCLAPs, definitely TCLAPs to them.
That's right. Well, hey, before we get into the Q-Source content, which, dude, I'm excited to talk about this. I think this is cool, the content for the Q-Source this week. A couple quick just housekeeping things. OnStar, if you want to share just some of the most improved from the metric workouts that we're doing, we're rinsing and repeating some of the metrics. And then we have a Slack reminder, Slack update, and strong recommendation from your Knoxville leadership team that I'll talk about. And then we'll get into some leadership stuff with the Q-Source. Of
course, we have now the guys who were the best improved for this last metric workout for the February and August metric workout. And I gotta say, we have some repeat names, specifically once again from Rampart. We have Lucille as the most improved.
Yeah,
he both managed to reduce his running time and increase his reps. And he was close to being the most improved again, but someone got him beat. But let me go through all the guys who were the most improved for the AOs, remembering that I can only say who was the most improved if you posted both times. Some AOs had people who posted on the first but not the second, or the second but not the first, so can't do much in that situation. But here we go with who we have. We have Lily Dipper from Asylum PM as the most improved. We have Appleseed at Brickyard, Magic Mike at Big Ball, Guardrail at JUCO. We had Mathlete from the Project as most improved. As I've mentioned, Rampart had Lucille, who was almost the most improved, but the guy who crushed it and was by far the most improved was Z-Pack at the Quakin. He reduced his time by almost 3 minutes, which is insane, and got 75% more reps in total. So he crushed it, man. He just more than doubled his sit-ups and reduced his time by a lot. And it's awesome to see someone having so much improvement in 6 months, man. So Z-Pack, TCLAPs to you, my man. Awesome job. Awesome job to everyone who challenged themselves to this, and to all the guys who pushed themselves. And now we have the fun of doing the metric and IPC in the same month. So let's go.
Right. Hey, if you thought week 2 was fun of Iron Packs, wait till the metric workout comes back around in September. Man.
Hey, and this is the first one of the metric workouts that I created. So let me know if what is worse, IPC or my metric workout.
That's right. We're gonna send out a poll in Slack.
I'm not sure I want to know, but
well, here's a cool thing. So we're getting into the months. I mean, as we obviously get into later of the year, we've done these really hot metric workouts in the summer, but now we're getting into the cooler months. Thank goodness. And so the ones that we have done in the hotter months in the spring and summer will be totally different as we get into the rest of the year. So, man, it's just a different dynamic to think about too as you're tracking your times and your posts and things like that. Because thinking back to what was like January or February's workout, it was freezing in the winter, and then, I got smoked in the summer because it was hot, and so it's a different dynamic. But even so, they're really good things to track, and we have a lot of guys that are killing it and killing the IPC and metric as well now. So TCLAPs to you guys. Yeah. Well, hey, we have a quick little housekeeping thing we want to talk about. So we use Slack as our communication tool in F3 Knoxville. And so Wanderer, which is our new tech queue on our F3 Knoxville SLT or shared leadership team, put out a message just to hopefully encourage guys to make a small change that will make a very big difference with us using Slack Blast and how it relates to our website. So our ask as a SLT is that you update your Slack profile, your full name to be your hospital or real name, and your display name to be your F3 nickname. So, for example, you can go to my profile on Slack, Steam, or Dan Henson, or OnStar's profile on Slack, and you can see how this looks, or Betty's profile, for example, because he put out a really good message to his Shamrock guys. But some of the reasons that we're doing this is one, for your privacy online. So we have been working to improve processes like backblast posting. Hopefully you found it to be more efficient as we've transitioned to Slack Blast and Paxminer. The new process uses Slack names to tag members, and then the backblast is posted to the F3 Knoxville website. By updating your display name in Slack only, your F3 name will be posted in Backblast Online. So instead of Dan Henson getting posted on the F3 Knoxville website, it would just say Steam. And so the way the data and technology works is it's going to extract your F3 name rather than post your full hospital name on the website. Now, some of you guys are like, I really don't care. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not really worried about that. Some of you guys are like, hey, I maybe don't want my full hospital name posted on the F3 Knoxville website for whatever reason. It's really none of our business. That's totally up to you and your privacy, and so we want to respect that. But if you're curious, if you're still able to search by people's hospital name in Slack and or find people's hospital name from their tag, you can. So all we're asking is that once again, you change your full name to be your hospital or real name, so Dan Henson, and your display name, where guys tag you, like I would say at Steam, your display name would be your F3 nickname. Hopefully it'll make it a lot easier to record the correct amount of guys with the correct names as we post Slack Blast in Slack.
Exactly. So no rush, but if you guys can do that small change, it would be helpful, and it helps protect your privacy as well. It could be very embarrassing if, for example, an employer is searching for your name online and they wind up finding a website where you're called by your F3 name. Some F3 names are fine, no problem, but I mean, we've got names like Bedwetter and so on, so might be a little weird if that shows up when an employer is looking you up or something like that.
That's true. Or on the flip side, say you have a potential employer that looks you up and they find your F3 name and you have a really cool name, they may just hire you on the spot without even an interview. So, my hope is that someone looks me up online and says, oh, who's this Steam guy? We should hire him immediately. Yeah.
There you go.
So it could work both ways, but, word of the wise, just a caution. I feel like we're in the movie, I think it's Office Space, where the boss is like, yeah, if you could come in on Saturday, that would be great. I should have just led with that. It's like, yeah, if you could go ahead and change your display name to your F3 nickname, that would be great. But we didn't. There's no rush, but just by 11:59 tomorrow night would be awesome.
All right.
Just kidding. There's no time limit. But if you have questions, shoot us a message on Slack. Kickflip, myself, Wanderer, OnStar. Feel free to shoot one of us a message. We'd love to help you out with that. It's a really easy change. Protects you, protects us, makes it a lot easier for us to find guys in Slack and on the website.
Yep.
All right, let's talk leadership. We have a great topic for the Q-Source content this week. It is unwavering loyalty to the group and unflinching determination to accomplish its mission. Basically what I said in my vows when I got married.
Boom.
Just kidding. But it's actually a really great topic. So this is actually a really interesting topic, I think, too, because across F3, we have guys that are bought in at very different levels. Some guys are like all in, hey, they punch the card. They're all in on the F3 thing. Some guys are like, man, I just really like the workouts. I like the fellowship. I like to just come work out with a group of guys, and get away for a little bit. And both of those things are good. And so what I think this week's Q-Source content is trying to get at is really a couple things to make you think about yourself, your leadership, but also think about the leaders around you that you're engaging with every week. And so some 90,000 foot view zoom outs, and then we'll talk a little bit about this. When it comes to unwavering loyalty to the group and unflinching determination to accomplish its mission, number one, loyalty requires abandonment of self. Number two, determination requires bold will to action. And then finally, number three, mission first, men always with love. So if you're not familiar with F3 language and some of the heart behind F3, some of us is going to feel like, I don't know, feels pretty strange to be talking about this and using this language. But when you read into this content in this post, which we'll post the link so you can read this for yourself on the show notes as well, it really is some great things to think about. So when you think about unwavering loyalty to the group and unflinching determination to accomplish its mission, what do you think about OnStar? What pops up for you?
This is gonna sound like maybe I'm kissing ass, but no kidding. I thought about kickflip, man.
That's good.
Dude, to me, he gave a great example of. He gives all the time a great example of his loyalty because anytime he can help with any initiative within F3, dude's there. He went to the mud run last minute with his kids and hung around to help us help the other volunteers and do whatever he could around there, even though he hadn't planned on doing it at first. So more than once he's reached out to me and asked me, hey, is everything okay? Is there anything else you need from me? Can I help you in some other way? What do you need? So this kind of like fully committed attitude, being fully there, like being a servant leader, that to me, that's what it comes to my mind.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great take on that. Absolutely. As I was thinking about organizations, teams I've been a part of, companies, things like that, there's this, I think, underlying theme of loyalty, but actually putting language of unwavering loyalty to the group and unflinching determination to accomplish its mission. I don't know if that language has ever been in a job offer I've ever signed or organization I've signed on to. I think it's just innate in most of us, that we want to be loyal people, that we want to be committed, we want to be determined. I mean, I think those are things that people buy into. And so you think about what that requires of you, and you think about F3, for example. So we don't get paid to do this. F3 is free and open to all men. And by and large, no one is paid in F3 except I think it's just one person. I think it's like the COO of F3. But by and large, no one is paid to do F3. It is volunteer ran. And you think about that all throughout the world. I mean, the world, literally. Because we've talked to some F3 regions overseas and in other continents. These guys are doing this thing called F3 for free, not getting paid for it, in addition to like their jobs, their families, all that good stuff. Why in the world would that be? What is it about F3 that drives men to do this for free? And I think it's point number one. Loyalty requires abandonment of self. We are not created to just serve ourselves. We're not created to live a life that is just self-serving or self-seeking. And when you come to F3, it's hard not to maybe not buy into, but it's hard not to at least notice the loyalty and cohesion and determination of men to accomplish the mission of F3, which is to plant, grow, and serve small workout groups for men for the invigoration of male community leadership. Now, you may see that just in a 45-minute picture where, hey, we're just trying to finish this workout in 45 minutes together. That's the mission. But it's so much larger, so much greater than just the workout. F3 has never been a workout group. It's always been more than a workout group. And I think it's because men come to F3 and they realize, hey, these guys are really loyal. I can buy into F3's mission, and it's going to require an abandonment of myself and my self-seeking nature. And I think that's a pretty cool thing that we don't see a lot of in the world. And when I first read this and when I was reading through some of these points, it's honestly kind of countercultural when you think about it. Because what does the culture at large tell you? It's like, hey, make it about yourself. Like, focus on your truth. Focus on what you want, what makes you feel good. Focus on what's true and right to you. And on the flip side, what we're called to do as high impact men, and F3 does this really well, just as an example, is, hey, focus on the other guys around you. It's not about you. Captain Crunch has said that over the years. Hey, it's not about you. You show up to lead a workout, or you show up to just be part of a workout. It's not about you. It's about the guy on your left and right. And that's not what we hear from culture. But it does take unwavering loyalty to the group and unflinching determination to accomplish its mission. And different guys may be at different scales of that. There may be guys who are like, yep, I'm all in, bought in, cool, let's do this thing. And there may be guys who are like, I'm not really that bought in. My loyalty may waver a little bit, and it could look different. And hey, that's cool. That's cool. This is not a club where you're in or you're out. We're not the Sith in Star Wars, like only Sith deal and absolutes. Like, it's not that. But we want you here, and we want you to be part of us, and we want men to step up and display that high impact manhood and show that loyalty is a good thing. Unflinching determination to accomplish a mission is a good thing. It's not control. It's a good thing, and it's a denial of self.
Yep. And F3 is one of those kinds of things that you only get back what you put in. So just like nobody's going to do the workout for you, nobody's going to develop leadership skills for you, and nobody's going to be able to find a band of brothers for you if you're not looking for that actively. But I love the points you made about this being countercultural. And I know you said it kind of jokingly about those were your wedding vows, but this is not at all a bad way to actually face your marriage and your serious relationships in life, because man, marriage or becoming a father or all of that is about realizing that it's no longer just about you. It shouldn't be just about you, and it's never again going to be just about you. Being just about you works at most when you're a kid and you're still figuring out the world. From the moment you're a man, you got to realize that there's much more in the world than you, that your impact has to go much further. And you need to have unwavering loyalty to any group that you want to have a positive impact in, whether that's your family, whether that's F3, whether that's your work, your business. If you're not bought in, you're going to flake out. Mm-hmm. So if you really want to have high impact, you need to be loyal to whatever you set your sights on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We talk a lot about commitment in F3 and a lot about, hey guys, like step up and lead. You have what it takes to lead and to serve, and that's been our story and experience with F3. I would venture to say that for both of us on Star, and when it comes to the guys you think of that quote unquote make F3 happen, right? Like all the guys that step up and lead every week across Knoxville and East Tennessee. It does take that determination, and it does take that bold will to action.
Yep.
So a great example of this that I think your source goes into, and you can read this for yourself. I'll post the show notes as well. But some of the commitment that we're talking here is, while very few men will encounter circumstances as dire as the ones that confronted Grant during the Civil War, every group has a mission that its leader must see accomplished for his group to prosper. Inevitably, along the path towards mission accomplishment, there will arise obstacles that invite the leader to flinch, to turn his group aside in search of an easier course. It is then that the leader's character will be revealed. Either he will press on and fight it out along that line, or he won't. Determination requires bold action. And so you think about F3 Knoxville. We've been around for almost 7 years. We've done some awesome things in Knoxville. We've been able to fund some things around Knoxville. We've been able to serve in different capacities. We've been able to be a part of men's lives in really powerful ways over the past 7 years. And so determination requires bold action. Maybe a bold action is just getting up and leading a workout one morning. You know, that is no small thing. It's not like it's just this, I'm going to go lead a workout. You know, like that takes some boldness. That takes some courage to go lead a workout group of men that may be older than you, maybe younger than you, maybe more quote unquote in shape than you, may not be. And it takes some boldness and some determination to do that. So don't just write that off. There's been a lot of small acts that have made huge differences over the past 7 years. From guys that have contributed to making F3 Knoxville such a success, and by and large, F3 Nation such a massive, impactful success over the course of more than a decade now.
Yep, and this is great. Small, consistent actions can have much more of an impact than big gestures that aren't like sporadic or you just do once in a while. Committing to be there once or twice every week, to leading a queue every week, or to bringing coffee to cafeteria every week. You don't have to be like as crazy as we are and be here almost every Monday recording a podcast.
True.
But you find out how you can help, how you are willing to help. Find out what fits in the moment you're in your life right now. Because we each are in different scenarios. Maybe you don't have that much time to dedicate to F3 because you have a family, because you're working a lot. Great. But if you want to help us grow, and if you want to push yourself forward, find that one commitment you can make and go for it. Take that commitment and be loyal to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last point is mission first, men always, with love. The thing I want to call out here too is Only through love can the virtuous leader maintain the proper tension between man and mission. As we said in the very first cue point, a great leader's legacy is built on love. And that's, I think, the beauty of F3. You see these guys step up and lead workouts and share from the heart and the COT, and it's done with love. It's not a chest beating, look how strong or wise I am. I'm in charge, so you're going to do what I say thing. It's, man, when it comes down to it, when guys step up and lead, it's done, hopefully, and it is, because this is displayed. It's done for the love of the mission of F3, because someone has done that for you. If you're part of F3, and you know what it's like to be part of an organization that knows and sees you and challenges you to be the man you're called to be. So a leader's legacy is built on love. And as you think about your commitments over this week and maybe what your loyalty is like to F3, this is not a shame fest. It's not a guilt fest of, man, I'm not really as loyal as I should be to F3. Maybe I should stop coming. Please do not hear that. What we want to invite you into, though, is that there are men ready to have that unflinching determination to accomplish its mission. And F3 Nation talks a lot about that in the Q stores. But maybe you can find a couple different ways to have more unwavering loyalty this week. Because here's some questions that we're going to ask ourselves this week. We want to invite you to ask yourselves as well. Is there anything a leader must surrender in order to be committed? Is there anything a leader must do to demonstrate commitment? And then what is more important, loyalty or determination? So, OnStar, any just quick thoughts before we close out tonight on those things?
I will just tackle just the first one, the question about surrendering, with something that I've heard often from Jordan Peterson, but is something that I think is very true in life. You're going to have to make sacrifices in this life. No one can have it all. No one can have the perfect life. No one can get a 10 out of 10 on everything. Mm-hmm. You either pick and make meaningful sacrifices to achieve your goals and to do the things you believe are worthwhile. You even choose the burdens you're going to carry and do your best to carry them, or life's going to pick for you. And then maybe you're going to like the sacrifices you will have to make even less. So yes, a leader will have to surrender comfort, will have to surrender oftentimes his own will, his own desires, but there is a reward for that. There's always a reward for that. And you get to aim for what you want for you and for those you care about. That's what I have to say about that.
Good word, bro. That's good. Guys, there's a lot more content in this that we did not cover that you can read. It'll be in the show notes. Please go check it out. Take the few minutes to read it. Let us know your thoughts. Shoot us a message on Slack. Get in the Mumble Chatter channel, the F3 Knoxville main channel, or shoot us an email at f3knox@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear your thoughts too. So, OnStar, it's been a privilege and a pleasure, my friend, to break down all of the cool things. Actually, not all of them, but I think most of them. I think we covered most of them.
We covered some pretty good ground.
We covered some good ground. There's always things that we're missing. And, hey, if we are missing things, listener out there, let us know. Man, if you want us to cover something, if we miss something cool that's happening at your AO or within your guys, just let us know. We'd love to invite you onto the show and talk about it and highlight some of the cool things y'all are doing. So, OnStar, thank you for being here, man. Good to see you. We have a full week of iron sharpening to go, and it's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome, man. See you in the gloom.
All right. See you in the gloom.